What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Geek Muscle. I am your host Drew. Now, as I'm currently making this video, it is March the 20th, which means that we're still going through this whole pandemic ordeal, which means that everything's closed, including the gyms, which sucks, I know. But you know what? Hey, your health comes first. So stay at home, wash your hands, stay clean, and that's all you gotta do in the meantime. And let's just hope that this whole thing ends pretty quick. But anyways, yes, everything's closed, so including the gyms. That doesn't mean you can't work out, right? So that's why I'm making this video. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of workouts that you can do with resistance bands, as well as a couple of books, because honestly, you can use almost anything in your house to exercise. You just gotta be creative. And yeah, today we're gonna do specifically upper body. We'll do lower body in the next video, then abs in the next video after that. So without further ado, let's head on to it. Alright guys, so we're starting off with some bicep work here, and pretty much what I'm doing here is the bicep 21s exercise, except in this case I'm doing a variation that instead of doing 7, 7, 7, I'll be doing 15, 15, 15, since I felt that the bends were a little too light to just keep it at 7. If you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, pretty much the bicep 21s exercise consists of doing 7 repetitions from bottom to halfway point, then 7 from the top to halfway, and finally 7 full repetitions, hence why it's called 21s. But in this case, I did 45. Usually if you do this with some moderate weight with a preacher curl machine, or with barbell, or with a cable, you'll get a good bicep pump, so just make sure to repeat this for about 4 sets. Continuing on with the biceps, you can also do 4 sets of 10 hammer curls, followed by 10 regular curls, and finally 10 alternating curls from hammer to regular at each repetition. Make sure that for the hammer curls, you keep both hands together at a neutral grip. That way you're putting more emphasis on your forearm, and once you switch to regular curls, boom, separate. If you feel like you need to add more repetitions, go right ahead, I ain't stopping you. And go straight to 15, then 20 or 25, you name it. Another thing I forgot to mention, guys, is that when it comes to the band workouts, almost anything is possible by using your own body weight as resistance, or heavy furniture like a couch, a chair, or even a door. You just gotta be creative. In this case, for example, that I'm showing you, I'm using my mom's old wheelchair, shout out to my mom, and it works pretty well since the chair is pretty heavy, so yeah, there you go. Alright, so for the last bicep workout for this video, and that is the preacher curl. So now I'm using the chair for resistance, and I come back to the point of the bands keeping my arms fully straight, that way I can begin to curl. You don't want to be too close to the furniture because otherwise it would be too easy, so make sure to come back to the point where your arms are fully stretched out. So for this one, you can do the bicep 21s exercise that I just showed you, as well as the 1-minute intervals, and you can even incorporate alternating or single arm repetitions followed by together. I would try this for about 4 sets as well. So yeah, that's as far as biceps were today. Next up, we're moving on to triceps. This exercise specifically is the bent over extensions, in which you bent over very similarly to the back rows, keeping the back straight, glutes out, and you gotta push the bands down aligned to the glutes. You can do this exercise for about 4 sets of 15 to 25, and you can also incorporate single arm repetitions followed by together. Another basic tricep workout that you can do at home is the bodyweight dips, using a chair for about 4 sets of 15 to 20, and you can even superset this exercise with the tricep bent over extensions that I just showed you, or even the tricep pushdown using a door, which we're going to move on to next. So the tricep pushdown is very simple, just like how you would do it with cables. Remember, elbows shouldn't move when pushing down, and always bring back the resistance to the chest area, never above, otherwise your elbows will be moving all over the place, and thus you're not going to be doing as much tricep as you should be. Do this exercise for about 4 sets of 15 to 25, and you should be good. Alright, next up we're moving on to chest. We're going to do some band chest presses. Remember, watch for the elbows just like any traditional chest press. Avoid the elbows from locking upwards. Have your chest out and squeeze when you push forward. You can always do this exercise for about 4 sets of 15 repetitions, followed by 5 repetitions individually or single-armed, in total doing 20. That way you can put more emphasis on each side, especially if you have some sort of imbalance. You can also superset this chest press with some plate presses, or in this case, book presses, where you get either 1 or 2 heavy books and focus specifically in the mid part of the chest. I like to do this immediately after I do chest press and do it as much as I can till failure to really get the chest pumping, so I definitely recommend trying this out. Alright, next up, back. You can always do the simple bent over rows using heavy furniture as resistance. Remember to have some distance, that way there's enough for you to pull back and actually feel some resistance. Otherwise, it would be too easy, and you can see that I have to reposition myself right there. Again, 4 sets of 15 to 20, and you should be good in regards to back. And finally, let's finish it off with some shoulders by doing some lateral raises followed by some steering wheels to get both the lateral and the frontal part of the deltoids back to back. Try it at about 4 sets of 15 lateral raises followed by 20 steering wheels in total. Usually you would do the steering wheels with a plate to get a full rotation, so in this case with the bands, just try to mimic that same movement as if you're actually holding a plate as well. Alright guys, so those were a couple of upper body workouts that you can do at home with resistance bands. You know, like I said, you really don't need much to have a killer workout at home. Even as just having your own body weight and a couple of books, and you'll have a good workout. If you have bands, if you have weights, then it's a plus. But yeah, you know, those were just the snippets that you can do with just resistance bands, upper body wise. If you want to see more, give this video a thumbs up. And we're definitely going to do legs in the next video and abdominals in the video after that. And yeah, as far as that goes, I'll catch you guys down in the next one. Remember, stay clean, wash your hands, and I'll catch you guys down in the next one. See you.